Hi everyone, it's Charlie. It has taken me a very long time to decide to do this type of video. It's taken me a long time to do any video. It has been a very tough road, I'm sure, for everyone. But I'm here to talk about my experiences and what I've been through for the past couple of years. This is about grief. This is about losing a loved one. So bear with me if I have to pause or blow my nose, get some tissue. Right now, I feel like I'm in the place to be able to handle it. Um, so, some of you may know that my fiance passed away in 2020 due to COVID. I do have my phone here with my notes, so I try to keep, you know, in order. I don't want to just go all over the place. I lost him to COVID in 2020, and at that time, everybody knows about COVID being, it was the scariest thing. All these people were passing away, and I thought when he caught it, I thought, okay, yeah, he has a cold. He'll get past it. We know, we know a little bit. You think you know, and you never thought that, oh, this is gonna happen to me. It's not gonna happen, you know. And at the time, his son, who I raised with him, which is my son too. He was so afraid at that time. He would cry after he found out. I never wanted to tell him that his dad had COVID. I always said that he had a cold, and I left it at that. But his dad shared with him that he had COVID, and since then he would cry. He was afraid for his dad to die, and I didn't cry when he said that because I still said no. He's not gonna die. I said, tell your son you're not gonna die. I was in denial too. Um, yeah, but he was in quarantine for his 14 days. 14 days. And I thought he was getting better, but he wasn't. He didn't share with me that he was worse than he was. He hid that pretty good. And plus, at that time, we were afraid to really be around him. So we kind of did keep our distance. He stayed in another part of the home, and we went around when we needed to give him food or check on him, or I would text him, or you know those type of things. Um, yeah, because I never thought that it would end that way. Um, he he lasted 3 more days after his 14 days, and yeah, that was the hardest part. Trying to remember after that. Oh, I can't remember anything after that day. I can't remember anything. Um, Sleep. I don't remember when I slept. I always remember that 3 o'clock hour. I'm always up at 3 o'clock still today, like clockwork. If I'm not up at 2:30, I'm up at 3 o'clock. I'm always awake. Um, Sleep was really hard. Something I couldn't do. Uh, I had to have company with me at the time. I'm normally a really private and stay to myself type of person, but at that time, I needed someone to be around. So, sorry. By 8 a.m., they had to be here. My sister, my friends, the same circle. We would wear our masks. We would sit outside on the deck, and we would eat all day, talk. They would keep me company. I would cry. I would just do everything, and they would be here. All the phone calls were coming in, so it was never a day that I didn't cry uh, because everyone would call. So, but I could not be by myself every day. So every single day for like a month straight, they were here from as early as 8 o'clock to as late as long as I can stay awake. 11, 12 o'clock. I tried to drink to make myself sleep. Um, I just wanted to forget. I wanted to forget. I wanted to sleep. So that was my coping mechanism, was to try to forget. Right? I had to take a break. uh, Let me get my notes back so I can stay on track. Um, yeah, time. Wow. My mom asked me the other day because one thing I do want to share is at the beginning, you talk to your friends, they notice that you cry, whatever. You know how you want to share how you feel, or if you want to talk about the person, or if you want to just talk. If you don't get that vibe from that person or that group that they are willing to listen, it's hard to share that. It's hard to be around people who aren't as compassionate. My family was never the type of family to hug, say I love you. We weren't. We all weren't. As you can see, I'm very emotional. I would cry at commercials. I would cry because someone else is crying. But yeah, we didn't grow up in that type of home where we were affectionate. So it was hard to, especially during COVID, you wanted to hug someone, you wanted to cry. And I had this one friend. He was so sweet to me. He would just let me cry on him. He would hug me. It was just the best hugs. I appreciate it every day. I still to this day appreciate him for that. But um it's been hard to still deal with it, but I've made it my mission to not hold it in. And when I want to talk about Todd, I will talk about Todd. I will share my dreams, my thoughts of him with my mom, because she's been there since day one. She is always around. She is always with me. She's helped me so much. She still is helping me, and I appreciate it because you need some type of support, and she has been all of that for me. So I do appreciate that. Um, and I wanted to talk about some of the triggers that I've experienced. And by no means is this video about uh, diagnosing or trying to give advice to anyone. These are all my experiences, how I'm dealing with grief, and what I am going through, and how I'm healing. So I'm not giving any advice or anything. I think this is my cleansing, and this is how I feel like I can move on. I have to get this video out the way in order to make other videos. That's my thought process in all of this. So by no means am I on here to give anyone advice. These are just all of my experiences with grief. Um, my triggers, of course, you're gonna have triggers. We traveled a lot. We've been so many places. We've done so many things together. There's not one thing that I think goes through my mind, or that I've been every single day, that I don't say, man, I remember we went there. Man, I remember when, or I see it and I go, and sometimes I laugh. Sometimes it's fun. It's a good memory. They're not all sad. If I can laugh at it now, I'm happy, because he was funny. That was my friend too. So we had fun. We always talk. We always laugh. So a lot of memories were good, not bad at all. But the triggers, I still get triggers when I walk around the house, or just the other day, I rode past Citibank and I thought I was gonna see his truck come out of there, and uh, it shook me. You know how you have that tingling in your stomach like butterflies? It some things catch me off guard, and I kind of get breath. It takes my breath away. It just it's so amazing how it still seems to happen, and you don't expect it, and it happens, and it takes your breath away. You just gasp for like a second, like, oh my god, did this just happen? Like, I thought I was okay. You're thinking you're okay, but it's still happening, and it's been a year and a half already, so it's still happening. Yes, it's still fresh and everything, but because people around you make it seem as if after that it's okay, she should be okay, or she's moving on, I'm moving on, I'm tired of the scene. They moving on with their life, and I feel like I'm stuck. So I'm like, okay, I'm finna hurry up and move on too, because they leaving me, and I'm sitting here still crying. I said, but I can't stop crying, and I can't move on because I'm still in that same day. So it's just like, oh my God, what do I do? Because now everybody else is moving on. I can't keep going around them crying because they like, look, we over this. That's how I feel. They've never said it. I just feel like I can't be around people and they're happy. I have to pretend like I'm happy even though I might be sad. So if I'm sad, if I'm having that day where I just can't, I don't want to be around people because I don't want to mess up their joy. I don't want to do that. So I really take that into consideration too. I'm going to skip regrets for right now and what I remember. I'm going to go to anger. Because I remember I've been so angry. And anger just left me, I say a few months ago. Maybe long, maybe about 5 months ago. I was so angry. I wanted to fight anyone. I tried to pick a fight with anyone. I've never had a fight in my life. I've never hit another person in my life. But I I cannot even explain to you or describe to you the anger that I had in my soul, in my body. I'm talking about an anger that is scary to yourself. Like, I scared myself with this anger. Like, I tried to find one of those places where you go where you smash stuff and you break up stuff. I needed to hit something and I never could. I wanted to scream. I still want to scream. I still have that urge and I still dream it. I still think it. I want to scream. I want to let it out and I can't. So the anger was the worst feeling I think that I had. Anger is horrible. I always wanted to yell at my neighbor, and God kept all of my enemies away from me. I promise you, God is great. He kept all of them away from me because it wasn't directed toward them. I was angry because I lost my friend. I lost my fiance. I lost him. I lost my boyfriend. I lost everything. I lost my stepson to his mom. He had to go back to his mom. I lost two people at once, and it just took so much out of me. I was so angry. So yeah, anger for me was the worst feeling, the worst part of grieving, and I'm so glad now it's not anywhere near where I was. Sometimes I get angry, but it's nothing compared to when I started. So thank God for that. Um, I used to be able, I wasn't able to come into our bedroom for like a month. I had to get rid of the mattress. I just got it out of here. I got rid of the mattress. We have a bathroom where all his things were. I still can't go in there to this day. I can't. So that's another thing. That's another trigger too. I want to move so bad, but at this point, it's just really hard to do. I wonder if I did, do you? That's a question. If you moved away, I've had some neighbors who've lost their spouse and they move right away. My niece's grandfather moved out of the house when his wife died right away, and I thought, oh my God, why am I still here? Like, I want to leave too. Um, but I'm still in the process of cleaning the baby's room. I just got the urge to do that a few months ago. Um, I have so much stuff that I have to get rid of that it's just impossible, because it's just like we had just moved in. We were here for a year, and we had, all these great ideas of what we're going to do with this place and all of this. We bought all this stuff, and now it's like, okay, now I have to get rid of it. So it's been a journey. It's still a journey, something I'm still working on. So, yeah, that's another thing. Um, I always thought people forgot about me. Like I said, for about a month, everybody would come around, da 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 da, and and it was just like I keep looking around, like, wait a minute, where are my friends at? Where's everybody at? Like, I feel like I don't have any friends. So I'm like, then I start being angry at them because they're not around. I shouldn't have to call you. You should be calling me. Like, I felt really left behind. Like, I've spent so much time grieving that I couldn't understand why nobody was around. I said, well, did I run them away? Did I cry too much? Um, did I not pay them enough attention? Did I not go on this trip that they keep asking me to go on? I just felt like everybody forgot about me. So that hurts still. Um, it does. It still hurts. I won't lie about that. Um, I was also angry about him passing away and leaving his son. I know it had nothing. It wasn't anything that in his control, but I thought, oh my God, he left his son. So many things I want him to teach him. I want him to teach him how to grow up and be a responsible adult. I wanted him to still be in his life. I want him to teach him how to drive. Oh my God, so many things. And I was so angry, and I said, oh my God, he's really gone. It is really hard. Um, Seeing other people move on that I noticed that were grieving, even on social media, or some people in groups that I would see that were grieving, even in the same time span that I'm in. Uh, they were grieving, but they were starting to move on. They would dress, I mean, they got dressed up, put on makeup, went out, went on trips, and I'm sitting here looking frumpy, didn't have nothing. I was just a mess. And I had to reach out to them, like, how did you do that? What did you do? How are you happy? I couldn't understand it. And I actually reached out to one person, and she was a doll, still is. Reached out to me, talked to me, gave me words of encouragement. She would show me stuff that she would do. Not just me, of course, she would do it for social media, but because we had connected, I felt like she was showing me and talking to me at the same time. And I appreciate it. I still do. I still live by a lot of her teachings. I still try as hard as I can to get where she's at. I'm working on it. I got my hair done. I did a lot of things now that I like, that I used to do. And what's funny, my sister had told me one day, she said, oh girl, I gotta show you this picture of this girl. She was hyping it up. She was like, girl, let me show you a picture of this chick and whatever. And she sent me the picture, and I'm all geeked up because I'm thinking, oh, we finna gossip about something, because I'm happy to talk about something other than me. So she sends me this picture in a text message, and I open it up, and it's me. It's me with my hair done. I was dressed up. I was smiling, and it was funny that we laughed about it because I said, "Ugh." And she said, "Yeah, you remember her?" Woo.